Teachings of Sri Kaleshwar Swami on Shiva's character. Shiva, the Supreme Soul. Who is Shiva, first of all? Shiva is the Supreme Character. What is the inner secrecy of his soul power? Shiva is the deep silence, and that silence is God, the source of everything. Shiva is the infinity. That is why they say the lingam has no beginning and no end. Each part in the air, any neutron or molecule, is Shiva. Throughout your body, each cell is Shiva. Just chanting Shiva's mantra, you can see everything is his structure. He has no structure, like zero. In the zero, there is a hero. That is spirituality. Shiva is detachment. He always sits in the deep vairagya stage. Shiva is an unbelievably loving soul. He's the one responsible for all the souls and is the person to give the abilities to any soul. He's the person to give the healing abilities. He's the person to wash any kind of bad fortune in your life. He can just simply wash it out. He's the man of fire. He took that fire energy and kept it in his third eye. He swallowed the alahala, the poison, and kept it in his throat. He's the person just simply wearing the small, tiny tiger skin, having cobras on his neck, and sitting in the graveyard with the ash. And non-stop, for millions and millions of years until now, he keeps meditating. Shiva is completely free and open. Bola Shankara. Even if a crazy person meditates and does a perfect process, Shiva comes and gives the boon for whatever he wants. Shiva never thinks what type of nature you are. Shiva never cares what you are. Just whatever you ask, he says, okay, take it. And he gives the energy. Shiva is Bola Shankara, the man of boons. Otherwise, why would he give boons in his Atmalingam to Bhasmasara, Gajasara, and Ravanasara, those huge Rakshasas? He is the number one easiest guy to reach. He's the person blessing incredibly whatever you want. He's Bola. First, he wants to play a lot of illusions. Then, once you get him, he's the person giving the incredible blessing for whatever you want. Boom, done. That you have to understand. Shiva is the starting point of the creation. Paramashiva is the starting point of the creation, giving the energy to everything in the universe. It's called Linga Bhavana. He gives the seed for the creation to start. Creation is only possible through his lingam. 99.99% only through his energy, the male aspect of the energy, does it start. Then the woman's energy is receiving it, and she's developing it. Then she's blooming. But we want the seed, the beginning point. Once you hook that, then you can start to develop it. Hooking the seed of the Shiva energy means that when you have darshan of Mother Divine, even though you are seeing Mother there, 50% of Shiva's energy is flowing there too. When you are connecting to him, at the same time you're connecting to Mother Divine. Hey, I'm catching her sari palu. Hey Mother, we want you. I want you. Even though you hooked Mother Divine, still, Shiva's energy is there. It's very hard to cut them off. It's very hard. No way you can separate them. It's like that. In Sanskrit, Shiva is 2 words. Shi-va. Shi means lady. Va means infinity person. That is Shiva. Almost always we see Shiva sitting and meditating. On whom is Shiva meditating? That's the big question to the entire spiritual kingdom. He's meditating on his own wife. Isn't it amazing? He's meditating on his own wife, Shakti. He needs Shakti, otherwise he's a 0. I'm always on the woman's kingdom side. He's meditating on his wife. He's meditating on his wife, but he also has a fear because she's the big illusion lady. He doesn't want her illusions to come on him. He's the only one who has incredible command on Mother Divine. Whoever is really stuck with Mother Divine, Shiva is the only person who can help you to get out from that. There's no other way. Even though you are a master, a powerful healer, or whoever, the Shiva energy is the only possible way for you to walk out of the illusions from Mother Divine's tests. If you surrender to Shiva, hey man, please take care with your wife. She's the big lady from the creation. I really, really need your help. If you surrender, he is the only person in the universe who knows how to operate her A to Z. Whatever the negativity is in us, if we chant the Shiva prayers, we can handle the negativity very easily. Once Shiva is with you, Mother Divine's illusions cannot touch you. To find her illusions or break her illusions, Shiva's energy is one of the biggest. Shiva is the only person in the universe in Stita Pragnata. Shiva is the only real, quiet, calm person. He's dealing with Parvati and Ganga and whatever else is around him. If we get just 1% of Shiva energy, it's enough to lead our life happily. Just 1%. You don't need 100%. We only need 1%. It's enough. That 1% is a lot. It's a lot. But it's also very difficult to connect directly to his energy. It's pretty sensitive. It needs super inner silence in you. At the same time, you need to maintain your blocks pretty smoothly. Only then will you be able to do it. If any block comes up, it damages. Then you can't get success. You have to be totally in a kind of Stita Pragnata and beautiful Vairagya stage and completely surrender. Then you can do it. Stita Pragnata means if you're in a happy mood or unhappy mood, you take both in a sporty way. Then you can do it. But it's not that easy to come to that. It's not that easy to come to that position. In Vairagya, you don't care about what is really coming in your life and what abilities you're receiving. Then it will come to you. You have to practice, but at the same time, you don't care about it. You have to reach that stage. Then you're there. Shiva is the only really enlightened person in the universe. He's the only purely enlightened person. We can reach that stage. It's not a big deal. But if we reach that stage, we won't be able to bear hearing the crying of souls. Millions of souls are weeping, crying, help, help, help. Billions of souls in the big illusion are in the torture, are in the pain. Only 10 to 20% are happy souls. If you go to being the biggest enlightened person, it means you'll have to hear everything. Wherever you look, you'll see big pain, crying, depressed souls saying, "Help me, help, help, help." You can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't walk. If you see a person, immediately it makes you to reflect on them. Even when you're sleeping, you'll be surrounded. When you start to meditate, you'll be hearing a lot of crying and weeping. It all comes to you. The big fires around the burning souls. Shiva is the only person who can handle and balance that. We don't need to repeat that level. We only need a small molecule of that. The small molecule has everything again in that. It has everything in that. We don't need to be the big. Just being one small molecule in that, it's enough. Whatever is in that big, the tastes, the mentalities, the characters, whatever fragrance it is, everything is in that molecule. Then we can handle it. We can simply taste it. We can enjoy it. Shiva's darshan is beyond enlightenment. Shiva's darshan is the final climax. Once you've seen him done, you're in pretty good union with him, then you can decide where you go in your next life. You have pretty good commanding on your soul. On your soul is a funny statement. It means you'll have commanding on him when you're not in the body. When you soul travel, yes, you can communicate, you can decide what you want to do. Once you receive Shiva's energy, you're very quiet, a man of peace. That's the maximum. You're in bliss all the time. You're really in bliss. It's beyond enlightenment. There is no word for it. You can't even say it's enlightenment. It's like a mother who carries a baby in the stomach for 9 months. Then she delivers it. It's such a relief. It's a kind of, she loves the baby. At the same time, it's a relief. That moment, that type of experience is a bliss. You're unbelievably thirsty. You can't tolerate it. Then I give you a glass of water. You drink it. At that moment, that feeling, when you're really enjoying it, you can't think about anything. You don't care about husband. You don't care about family. You don't care about money or fame if you're a famous person. You're not worried about thirst. That's what you enjoyed after you got relaxed. It's linked with one of the elements. Giving birth is giving the earth out, the earth element. It's the feeling that you were really starved and then you got it. In that moment, you don't need anything more. You're free. You were super thirsty, you drank, you're done. If I ask you at the moment if you want more water, you will say, "No, thank you." Then what else do you need? That is the climax. To your soul, it's enough. Once you connect to him, to Shiva, a person can do the top #1 miracle 3 times in their life, making a dead body to come alive. In Shiva, you can see 3 lines, regenerating up to 3 souls, taking them back from Shiva, bringing them back to their dead bodies, and making them alive. It's a spiritual law, an energy law. You can only do that to 3 souls. Shiva is controlling the planet from Mount Kailash. Shiva and Shakti's power spot is Mount Kailash. The Shiva energy and the Shakti energy is really big, directly hitting Mount Kailash, going and hitting their power spot. It is not that easy. It's the vibrations. All the elements' energies are high. All of a sudden, the wind energy is high. First, you're only feeling 1% vibration. Then all of a sudden, 100% vibrations are there. It's not you. It happens all of a sudden. Even if you get there, Your heart is not that much open to receive the energy. You're exhausted and you're fed up. You have to go back. You're really wondering if you'll be fine or not, if you can survive or not. Those are pretty dangerous, huge mountains. Even now, at Mount Kailash, there are Shiva's instruments, the Trishula, the Conch, and his musical instrument, the Damaruka, like the one we have in the corner of the temple. His real instruments are there in the water in Lake Manasorovar. For thousands of years, even until now, many saints have wanted to get them using the transporting energy to pull out those instruments. The high, powerful people want to transport them, to touch them even one time. They are in their illusion, trying and trying and trying. Shiva is the highest powerful person. To touch his instruments, it's a little crazy. You're thinking, what is Swami talking about? Instruments in the lake? Is it real or not? It's real. It's power. When I went to Manasorovar, after meditating there, using my channel and touching the water, I felt that there, in the deepest, deepest lake they are. His energy is completely controlling this entire planet from there. That's the top energy I felt. Some saints in northern India are the geniuses on the 5 elements. They are the geniuses on the Panchabhutas. They know how to perfectly access the 5 elements. They know how to ride the elements. At the same time, they are suffering in the elements. At the same time, they are connecting their master, Shiva, who is the boss of the elements. And at the same time, they are connecting Shakti to Mother Divine. They just stay in the snow with their hair growing long. They don't care about their life and their body. They're only meditating. They want the truth of the reality. Compared to what they have suffered, what we are suffering is a peanut. Many saints, older saints, 75, 80 years old, meditate and want to come to Shiva in Mount Kailash. They can't. Their body is not accepting that. They visit with their soul. That's okay, but their body still has to go. So Shiva comes personally. It's okay, I'll walk down from my power spot to Badranath and Kedarnath. He gives darshan to some saints, then leaves. He gives darshan in a tricky way, like coming as a donkey, as a dog, as an old man. It comes and it disappears. Then after it is gone, they figure out who it was. Or another example, in the huge snow, a person is meditating and all of a sudden an old saint is walking clearly in front of you. In a matter of seconds, you realize the saint is not there. He has disappeared. You see the saint very clearly walking, coming close. It's like somebody is coming to talk to you, and you keep watching him as he is coming, and then he disappears in front of you. That's it. It has happened to several thousand serious, dedicated meditators. Once during the full moon time, I went to Lake Manasorovar in the Himalayas. Where is that? In Mount Kailash. I had to do a process with one person. We landed there in Nepal. From Nepal, we took a helicopter to the Chinese border. From the Chinese border, we got the passport stamp. Then we needed to drive for a while. If you looked, it was several thousands of feet down. If the car went off like that, we would be done, really gone. The driver was just barely driving. If another car came from the other side, we had to stop somewhere along the side until that car went by. It was an amazingly steep journey into the Tibetan mountains. Before we got to Lake Manasorovar, there was a big lake called Rakshasa Lake. Rakshasa means negative spirit lake. We stopped. The driver was drinking and sleeping. We made him to wake up. What is this? He said, oh, it's Rakshasa Lake. Then he went to sleep again. The driver didn't really know English. Fine. We drove for 45 minutes to 1 hour, then came to huge Mount Kailash. The gorgeous sun was hitting. The lake, the sky, the mountain, the earth was completely merged. I said to myself and to my beautiful friend, "What beauty, what tremendous beauty. We should do the process here. It's good." They made a tent. They started cooking, and we went for a little walk. My friend, I can't tell his name, started to cry because he couldn't breathe. We had gone to the high altitude quickly, so there was less oxygen. He wanted to offer a handful of diamonds into the lake, do the process. He was holding my hands. He couldn't breathe, and he was crying. I didn't know what to do. I had come there to do some great process. It was the high altitude, the crystal water, and the amazing energy to make the soul most powerfully take off. I thought, oh my God, what is this Maya hitting here? What is wrong here? What is happening here? I put my sankalpam on my friend to go in a trance, to go to sleep. Late evening, after the sun had set, a small rain came and then stopped. Then again, the dazzling. I walked a little bit, 15 minutes away. I put my 2 feet in the water. It was chilly, but okay. Doing my sadhana. The real, pure Shiva energy was there, 1,000,000,000%. Then I came and sat back on the rock, doing my sadhana. Then a 3-foot-high guy with a huge beard and amazing fragrance came. It was late night, but I was seeing him very clearly. He kept walking towards me. I looked at him. First, I tried to stand up. I was numb. My whole body had completely collapsed. I couldn't get up. I thought, did anything hit me? Or did I psychologically hypnotize myself? But I was thinking very well. Then I wanted to speak to him, but my voice was cut off. I couldn't stand up, and my voice was cut off. I wanted to see him, to stand in front of him, to see who he was, and ask him, who are you? What is this? No chance. Then I took my channels in my Brahma consciousness. Hey, I'm here. Either do or die. I have to connect to this guy to know who this guy is. I need to know this guy. Otherwise, why is he coming in front of me? Is it a testing? Why? I want to talk to him. Then I connected to my boss, Baba, like screaming on him in my consciousness, "Hey, where are you? Where are you? Are you sleeping? I'm really in trouble. I'll pay whatever you want. I'll make whatever deals you want. I'll do whatever you want. Anything. Give me back my energy. Give me my protection back. I want to do something with it." Then it was like a kind of vacuum up. I started to feel good. I started doing my arrows, the channels, all my prayers. Then my little friend stepped back. He kept going back, then he stopped. He turned around and he came close to me. Whatever question I wanted to ask, he was telling the answer. I wanted to ask something, but even before I asked it out loud, he was telling the answer. Okay. Then later on, he said, "What do you want more?" Then I asked for some clarifications. He said, "Don't worry. Keep doing your job. Keep doing your job." Then again, I asked him when I could connect back to him. He smiled. He really smiled. Then, a few minutes later, we had a pretty intense energy pass between us. For just a fraction of a second, I was thinking on something, then he disappeared. It was such a bliss. At the same time, it was so painful. I did not want to go back to my normal life. I wanted to be there to walk with him, to have him take me with him to live there. But he disappeared. Then I saw his 2 footprints were clearly there. I collected all the dirt. I removed my shirt and put the dirt in it and tied it. I was kind of shaky. My tears were coming nonstop. Then I went to the tent to see my friend in a beautiful sleep. I put my shirt filled with dirt in my bag and got a new dress and a jacket to wear and went out walking and chanting all the prayers I knew in my life, recharging them. Shiva is the control of the 5 elements. Shiva is everywhere. His energy is everywhere. His energy is flowing throughout the 5 elements. The elements are filled with his energy. Namah Shivaya. In Namah Shivaya there are 5 letters. They are called 5 elements. Na, Ma, Shi, Va, Ya. Earth, fire, sky, water, air. The sky and the earth are the 2 things we can see like 2 plates, Shiva and Shakti. In the middle, all the mechanisms of the creation are running. The fire was created from the earth and the water with huge miraculous energy. We're connecting to the 5 elements through Shiva. Still, Mother Divine is the inner energy for the creation of the 5 elements. But the credit, the entire control of the 5 elements comes to Shiva. Still, Mother Divine is deeply hidden in the creator energy of the 5 elements. In the fire, there's a burning nature, a Shakti, and that Shakti is Mother Divine. In the water, there's a Shakti, that is Mother Divine. In the air, there is an energy, that is Mother Divine. In the ether, there is a Shakti, a power, that is Mother Divine. In every part of the 5 elements, Mother Divine is automatically hidden there. But Shiva has the overall controlling energy. In Namah Shivaya, Na means you, Ma means mother, then Shivaya, father. First you and mother, then father. What we're doing here, we're getting the control of the 5 elements. Once you understand Shiva, then automatically you can hook to Mother Divine. Without going to Shiva, if we go to Mother Divine first, we're simply jumping in Mahamaya's big ocean. Believe me, there's tragedy, little psychiatric problems, ups and downs. We don't know how many years, how many months, how many lifetimes it takes to you to bring the cities directly connecting to her energy. After all the 5 elements chakras start to open in you, you're always linked to Shiva energy like that. Such a sweet attachment will hook you to Shiva's soul. All your body vibrations are like that. Then you are the person flowing the energy and attachment. This is the inner energy in you. You are not hypnotizing yourself. You really get hooked. Energetically, you are hooking to him. It is not psychological. Once you hooked those vibrations, you are 99% a melodious person, soft and calm. Then the huge blocks of jealousy, anger, ego, doubts, craziness, ups and downs will all wash out. Then you won't care. You reach the Stita Pragnata stage. Stita Pragnata means if something is good, fine. If something is bad, fine. You don't feel bad, and you never feel high happiness. Instead, you are always a quiet, calm person. It's only possible once you connect to the inner elements opening those channels in you. It's only possible after you chanted and chanted and chanted a certain number of prayers with perfect pronunciation. Then it will be possible to access. That is the Indian tradition. It is accurate and it is true. You can try it in your personal life. Then you will know the results. Opening these channels is balancing the Shiva and Shakti energy in you, making Stita Pragnata in you. You need to be in the Stita Pragnata stage a minimum of 80% of the time. Stita Pragnata means if you're happy, good, and even if you get some unhappiness, good. You're not really focusing on the troubles or on the happiness. You're seeing everything as good and equal. No jealousy, no anger, no painful suffering. If you get it, fine. If you don't get it, fine. Once you make that, then you are the genius. My personal experience and my personal advice to all my students: first Shiva, the Father, then Mother Divine. Once Shiva is with you, Mother Divine's illusions cannot touch you. One reason Shiva and Shakti are in separate temples is that Shiva has a huge fear inside. One part, the father's nature, is really concerned to take care. If she starts to create a lot of disasters, then he has to take care and save everything. He wants to make her balanced, to make everything in a smooth way. So when Shiva, when he's in Rudra Rupa, the super angry phase, even Mahakali has to calm down. Once he gives a blessing, it doesn't matter if a cobra and you're going to die, or any negativity is playing in your life, anything, or whatever Leela Vishnu is giving, or if your Brahma consciousness is not smart enough to take care of things, that's the time to use his energy to make it a thumbs up. This planet has huge disturbances that are affecting you. How can you avoid this planet's vibrations? Are there any channels for that? The sky mantra belongs to the Shiva energy. It is the prayer of Shiva. Om lingastakam nidam punyam yahapate shivasani dao shivaloka mavapnoti shivena sahamogate. Anytime you're facing a lot of problems, some high, intense vibrations are around you, consider it a big challenge. You have to face it. You have to go in the nature. Sit. Simply, for 10 or 15 minutes, sit. Quietly, calmly. Just chanting the sky mantra. Meditate on Shiva. If you chant this mantra, you will have the strongest willpower automatically. It will develop in your heart. Shiva energies will flow huge in you. The sky mantra is one of the highest, most powerful Shiva prayers in the universe. Once you connect with the sky mantra in nature, it's a high, melodious connecting to the angels. Once you start connecting to that prayer, for sure, 1,000,000 times, your heart chakra will start to open much, 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 much bigger. After you start to open your heart, you will start to get a little avadut nature. If you go through the sky mantra deeply, these are all the meanings you will find. The sky is Shiva. Shiva is the sky. The sky is a huge, unbounded energy. Shiva completely covers this galaxy and all the galaxies beyond with the huge cosmic energy. It has no limit. That is why the Vedic tradition compares the Shiva energy to the sky. There is no limit. Mavapnoti. Each stone, each rock is Shiva. Shiva is everywhere. It's unlimited, infinite. Keep on chanting and chanting and chanting. You were saying first to Shiva, Shiva, totally, I'm surrendering to your feet. No matter what, you're the person to take care of me. Do whatever you want. The Shiva Lingam structure is like a globe, isn't it? It's Lingapati. Once you connect to his energy, to his name, to his bijaksharas, to the pronunciation of his mantras, 99% of the illusions, the negative stuff, cannot touch you. At the same time, it also helps unbelievably to open your heart bigger and bigger and bigger. That's the high inner significance of the process he is in. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he jumped directly to Mother Divine. Finally, he gave a statement to Vivekananda secretly. I did a mistake, an unbelievable blunder. You don't need to meditate on Mother Divine. She can really ruin and torture you. She's a lovely woman. She has a lovely nature. But as much as she has a beautiful nature, at the same time, she has a terrible nature. How much she has a pleasant nature, like unbelievable, glorious sceneries, but the next day, a lot of volcanoes, earthquakes, floods, and disasters happen. Don't believe 100% in her nature. First, try to go to Shiva. Bring high Shiva energy. Then automatically she comes in a soft way. Then she'll help you with whatever you want. Then make your life very happy. Krishna was such a genius. He built unbelievable sculptures in his palace and beautiful temples in his kingdom. But the main temple he built was the Shiva temple in his capital city, Hampi. Then every day he went to the Shiva temple and to the big Badava Lingam to do pujas. Because he was the main creator to his vast kingdom, he could only completely trust doing puja to the father. We're not blaming the mother, but the nature of the mother can turn in any way. Today it's raining. What is tomorrow? What is the next day? In 3 months, it's unbelievably hot. You know the nature. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, you can learn unbelievable things through the nature. Nature is the biggest teacher to you. Nature is the biggest teacher to you. Through the nature you can learn many, many things. But how long? How many lifetimes? How many things do you have to learn from her? Where is the starting point? Where is the ending point? It's like drinking the entire ocean water. You can't learn everything about the nature. That's completely crazy. You can learn many beautiful things, fine, but not everything. Once you understand the mechanism of nature, what more do you need than that? Once you start to feel the illusions, what is beyond that? Nothing. Once you understand her, what more do you need to understand? It means a beautiful, glorious fragrance is running. You're enjoying that. What do you need more than that? Shiva is completely away from all those things. Shiva's lifestyle is just making a little ash, having a little tiger skin as a cloth, having some cobras, and a begging bowl. But whoever is connecting to him at the same time, they're connecting to Mother Divine. Hey, Mother, I want you too. She's the lady of luxury, fragrance, jewelry, and wealth. He doesn't want that at all. He's totally sitting and meditating in the burial ground with the ash. He doesn't even want to go and touch her. Only a few times in certain circumstances to help her to communicate, to awaken her energy and make a balance with his energy. But it is through Shiva that you can connect to Mother Divine very easily. Actually, once you start to connect to Shiva's energy, you don't need to do other things. Everybody meditated on Shiva. Even Krishna in the Dvapara Yuga and Rama in the Treta Yuga. They got a lot of energy from Shiva. If you want to connect to Mother Divine, then you also have to connect purely to the Shiva energy too. It's only possible to accurately get 100% success in the cosmic for those who go through the Shiva energy. You have to make it balanced, the male and the female energy. You have to use both energies. Only then is it possible. Shiva is the only one who got complete success with Mother Divine because he has her third eye energy. But even though he got success, he doesn't care. He's always carrying the 3 gunas in him. Shiva